Hola, los amigos. How are you all doing, my dear friends? Um, so, I was at an event recently and somebody fed back that they saw a video of mine which I wasn't expecting. And it's someone that I hadn't seen for a few years. And it made me realize how impactful the videos I've been sharing or speaking in have actually been reaching people. So it got me thinking, okay, I need to start creating more videos. So I'm creating a video. So this video is going to be all about a brand new supplement that I started taking last night. Um, some of you might have heard of a brand called Onnit. Its founder Marcus Aubrey was one of the original sponsors of the School of Greatness podcast hosted by Lewis Howes. Back in the day, if you can find those first few episodes, you'll notice that Lewis gives a shout out to Onnit, and he basically is recommending Onnit like in every single episode, given they're the sponsor, right? But also presuming because the supplements work really well. So it's been a few years, right? I've been following School of Greatness for quite a few years now. Those of you that don't know about it, check it out. Lewis Howes' School of Greatness. It is an awesome podcast. You definitely should be plugged into it at the very least, or at least be aware of it. Yeah, there's so much value that comes out of those. So big shout out to my man Lewis Howes. He is awesome. And so back to Onnit. So yesterday I got delivered my first box. So as some of you may or may not know, I take supplements. Like I take supplements pretty much consistently as best as I can, and I have done for pretty much most of my life ever since 1998 when I first learnt about the power of nutraceuticals and how important it is to supplement our bodies. But that's a whole other podcast. We'll do that vlogcast or like video. We'll do that another time. Suffice it to say, I have been using supplementation in some form or another for the better part of 20 plus years. So, it's not as if I've just started taking it overnight. But I'm always checking how well am I doing with my supplement regime, and I'm always tuning and fine tuning and adapting what I'm taking. So I was in a position where I was running low with the current supplements that I hadn't been taking them for a little while just because I wanted to prioritize some of the other things that I need to spend my money on. As it is, like I don't go for just the cheap, like, £2 supplements or what have you. Like I like to get the creme de la creme of supplements. Like I'm really interested in the highest quality, highest potency. I want to have, guaranteed manufacturer, like, consistency guarantees. I want to make sure that everything's pharmaceutically tested, that it's pharmaceutical grade supplementation. Like if I'm putting stuff into my body, I want it to be the best possible that I can, especially when it comes to supplementation, because I'm making an active choice to really support my health and my immune system, and like my general well-being and overall functioning. And so last night I got delivery of my supplement stack from Onnit. So Onnit as a company, it was founded by a guy named Marcus Aubrey, and basically what he did was he took all of the things that he was taking sporadically, because there was a lot of different things that he would take for different benefits, and he basically created his own formulations and like worked with specialists to kind of combine all of the different properties and benefits that he had identified could be of benefit to enhance like cognitive function or enhance recovery or enhance like different qualities of life. So a lot of traditional supplementation is built around your body's systems in terms of to improve heart function, to improve liver function, to improve cellular function. And this was the first time that I had kind of sort of come across someone where they're actually focused on delivery, like the output. So it's not about the particular system in the body, but it's about the ability that you have. So Whereas here we're not looking at like making sure that the joints get the glucosamine, or the heart gets CoQ10, or like it's not at that level. Instead, they're looking at how do we improve mental performance, how do we improve recovery times, that kind of stuff. And so, like, one of his first supplements was nootropic. So, those that don't know, nootropics are designed to increase brain function and increase like mental clarity and alertness. So, I won't go into all the details of all the different supplements and like how they work, but suffice it to say, like, I've seen it. I've been watching it on it for quite a while now. It's been quite a few years, and I've seen like their products, and they look phenomenal. Just price wise, it didn't make sense for me at that time to spend so much on just one particular enhanced performance area, if you like. And so I kind of had to make the judgment call on, am I going to just keep taking the supplementation that I know is working at the cellular level to like baseline supplement the health and well-being of my body, or do I want to kind of opt into taking something specifically for just one part of me and like my daily life? And I was like, well, no, like broad baseline, like you need to have supplementation across the spectrum for the baseline of health. So anyway, fast forward a bit, I've been supplementing for many, many years, and I heard an interview about a week or two ago. It was with Mike Dillard, self-made man, and Aubrey was on there talking about how he'd created this range, and also mentioned that like they had something that had like everything in it, and I'm just like, okay, now this is my cup of tea, right? Like I'm not one of those I'm not one of those people that just want selectively. Like I want all the benefits. I want, if something's good, I want all the goodness. I don't want just a little bit of it, right? So Onnit have created a range that have like the AM PM packs, which some of you guys know, like it makes it easier when you're taking a real spectrum of different supplements to just have them prepared for you. And typically, like I'll prepare my own supplements, right? So I'll order them all for like a couple of months, or like at least a month at a time. And then what I'll do is at the beginning of a given week, I'll take all of the supplements that I'll be taking in the morning and the evening, and I'll separate them out. So I've already got them prepared. So then come that day, I just take my AM or I take my PM, and then I don't have to like physically open up, like if I'm taking 5 or 6 supplements, I would have to physically open each one up every single day, because that takes a lot of time, right? So I'm always interested in like saving time and accelerating the rate at which I can optimize things in my life. So I got the PM pack last night and I took it. I'm like, let's put it to the test. Let's try it out. Let's see what actually happens when we start with these supplements straight away, straight out the door. And all the reviews and all the feedback that I'd read, like people were literally taking it and experiencing the benefits like immediately, like as in within days, rather than the usual kind of weeks or months, or kind of it taking time to build up. And so clearly like the dosage is quite potent, and the quality of the supplements is clearly enough to make sure that you're getting the correct quantities to have a performance impact, right? They're proper performance enhancers, and they're designed to give you doses, like mega doses of supplementation, to ensure that you're getting the full health benefit, the cognitive benefit of like the systems and the functions. So the night packs are designed to help with like mood, with rest, with sleeping, with recovery, with kind of slowing you down and helping you recover. And then the AM packs are designed to like create more alertness, mental function, physical cognitive awareness and alertness, and that kind of stuff. Like I'm sort of painting a broad picture. Like I haven't actually gone into the details yet. Like I will get into it, and some of you might know, like I do get quite clinical when I properly dive into these things. But having trusted the brand, Lewis Howes, like he's not going to risk his reputation by not recommending something that he genuinely was benefiting from. And he does talk about his own experiences with recovery and things like that in the ads he throws into some of the early School of Greatness podcasts. So I was like, okay, well, there's a reputation behind it. Marcus Aubrey's been interviewed like loads. He's pro athletes and sports athletes and whatnot are taking it. So let's give it a try. So I took the PM pack, woke up this morning, and there is definitely something that's happened. So I wear this ring. It's called an Oura ring, Oura, and it measures my quality of sleep. It measures my heart rate. It measures my temperature. It measures like a bunch of different things, and it gives me a nice baseline around like the quality of the sleep that I'm getting. Have to say it's not 100% perfect, but it's the closest thing I've gotten to something that's consistently giving me good data. I have in the past used Bedit and Jawbone and the Jawbone Ups, as well as the actual like original Jawbones. Like I think the first one I got was like a Jawbone 2 and the Jawbone 3, and like everything has its challenges, right? So like nothing's perfect. I haven't been able to get like consistent quality sleep data from any tracking tool or device or anything. The Oura ring is probably the closest thing. Like there are still gaps in the data sometimes, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, what else can I do to like measure my sleep quality? But broadly speaking, is actually doing a decent job. So I'm able to, at the very least, like, so I say it's doing a decent job in the absence of doing anything better, right? So it measures my sleep quality and it'll show where I have had light sleep, deep sleep, where I've been awake, where I've been restless, and like it shows like 4 stages of sleep. And so the bit that I'm consistently looking for is more deep sleep, right? Because deep sleep is when you're having the like the highest level of the immune system repairing, is my understanding of it. And if I'm wrong, comment, let me know. Like I'll be happy to correct anything I've misrepresented. But my understanding was deep sleep is when you're at the highest level of cellular repair and recovery. So your body's completely knocked out, your immune system is going to work, and you're just like getting the best level of repair and recovery that can be happening in the body. And so my deep sleep has been quite short. Like I think on a really, really good day, I might get maybe 30 minutes of deep sleep, if that. But typically, like, I've been getting maybe 15, 20 minutes of deep sleep in a night, which over, like, anywhere between a 4 to 7, 8 hour sort of sleep period, like, that's quite a lot. Like, that's not much. And I've seen people that have, like, over an hour of deep sleep, and I'm just like, how are they managing that? Like, when you're sleeping, you go through cycles. You have REM cycles, and you have deep sleep cycles and light sleep cycles and what have you. So I was interested in like, can I get more deep sleep, and what can I do to improve that? And there's the obvious things: blackout blinds, make sure you're sleeping in a completely dark environment, no exposure to cell phones, which maybe I'm a little guilty of not properly following that one, even though I have the blue blocker glasses and all of that stuff. Like I haven't been consistent in what I've been following in terms of what I've been actioning. But like there are periods where I'll be consistent and not. But anyhow, blue blocker glasses, I need to start using those more. Sleeping in a slightly colder room as well, so a colder temperature also improves sleep quality. And also not eating late at night. Again, one of those things I'm a bit guilty of. It has just been Ramadan, so I have been eating later in the evenings and then going to bed. But I will look at like switching that up now that like Ramadan's over and I can be a bit more selective in when I'm eating. And so the sleep quality that I've had. So I apologize, it's taken like 14, 15 minutes to get to this, but I kind of felt like it's important to set some context when I'm sharing this. If it seems too long, let me know and I'll like in future avoid doing the explanation bits with the sharing of what the results were. But I'm hoping it's all adding value. So if it is, do let me know. And if it's not, let me know as well, right? So the quality of sleep that I got taking Onnit's PM pack is definitely, like, there was a difference. I woke up slightly groggy, um, and just to be clear, I didn't wake up, I got woken up. Um, I had asked to be woken up, to be fair, and so I got woken up at 9 a.m. Having gone to sleep around probably like 1:30, 2 a.m., something like that. Like, it was probably like more like the 1:30 area. But I basically felt more of a, so last night, about an hour after, yeah, it must have been after 1:30, because I think I was messaging at 1:30, just sharing kind of what I've experienced so far already. And already last night, after I took the supplements, within a couple of, like, within probably an hour or two, I could notice I was feeling a bit more rested, and my body was getting ready to shut down. So, for some of you alpha types, or those that are like always on the go, or that have just had like adrenal fatigue, or cortisol spikes, or what have you, you might feel like you can never really switch off, and you're always like switched on, and you're always busy, and you're always active, and you're struggling to like slow down or like shut down for the night. And I do get that a lot. Like, I've been, there are other things that you can do to help slow you down at night. So you can use magnesium, like get magnesium ideally as a magnesium oil or as a spray. Put it on your skin. Like, your skin will absorb way more magnesium than you can ever ingest. Sort of, if you eat it, just because like your body is typically magnesium deficient if you've had cortisol spikes, or if you're like running with adrenal fatigue. But so, like, I'm constantly looking at ways of slowing down for the evening and switching off and unplugging, and I've got to work on my evening routines a little bit more, like quite a bit more, but hey, that's a whole other story. That's a separate video, right? But what I have found is that last night I was actually switching off. I was actually unplugging, and my mind was shutting down, and I was actually feeling proper tired. Like, not the I'm too exhausted to move tired, and not the like I really need to sleep but I'm too tired to sleep tired. This was a kind of, oh, I'm feeling like lethargic, drowsy, not actually drowsy, but like everything felt like it was slowing down. That's kind of the best way I can describe it. Like, it felt like it was genuinely slowing down. I was feeling ready to sleep, but like restful sleep. Like, it was a restful feeling. And I was like, ooh, this is nice. I've not like had this kind of gradual switching down of like, I guess, neurotransmitters or pathways or whatever it is like that's happening in the body, of like, now I'm ready to sleep. And just to clarify, like, I have been taking ashwagandha and valerian to help with improving the quality of the sleep. So it's not that I've not been targeting sleep specifically. Granted, I haven't been consistent with that, but when I do take it, I know that then when I do, like, so I'll take it just before lying down, and I know that then the quality of sleep that I get is deeper in terms of I wake up feeling a bit more rested. And so last night was really interesting. I started to feel like I was shutting down, like I was actually getting into deeper sleep, but just not feeling like really, really tired. And then I woke up this morning, or I got woken up this morning, and I'm like, this is odd. Like, you know, the kind of heavy, dull brain when you've just been woken up out of a deep sleep? It was kind of like that. And typically, like, when I get woken up, I'll either be completely exhausted but alert, or I'll just fall back asleep, right? Like, I will literally, I've had moments where I've been woken up, I've spoken apparently, and then I've gone right back to sleep, and I have no recall of it whatsoever. So it wasn't one of those. But I did wake up and my head was feeling quite heavy, and it was like, okay, there is more sleep needed. Like, clearly I need more sleep. Like, I've not rested enough. And especially like on the weekend is kind of catch up phase. But also this week has been a bit busier than usual. Like usually I'm only able to manage like 2 or 3 days in the office or like working. And this week I did a bit more than that. Just there was stuff that I needed to sort out. And so like I'm more exhausted, I'm more run down, I'm more tired. Surprisingly, I was able to cope. And I attribute a lot of that to the celery juice as well as like the other supplements I've been taking. But honestly, like that celery juice change is probably one of the biggest things. I'll do a separate video on celery juice. You know, like I'll point to a place in the air. Maybe I'll get a video and point it there and put it there and read. You know, watch that video if you want to learn about my experiences on celery juice. I'll cut that out if it doesn't fit in. But okay. But like I woke up and I felt proper like recovered, but also tired. And a good tired, right? Tired in a good way, not a like, oh my god, I'm exhausted tired, but tired in a, I feel rested and I want to rest some more. That's the only way I can describe it right now. It has just been overnight, so like I expect over a couple of days, like the impact and the benefit will start getting cumulative, and like as the body's functions and the body's systems like start flushing out and clearing out, and I'm gonna be making more adaptations around the diet and around the foods I've been eating and all of that stuff as well. But just day one, first morning, I thought, let me capture this while it's still fresh in my experience. And to be honest, as I've been speaking to video, I've been feeling more alert and more awake than I had been when I was thinking about, let me just share how I'm feeling. So I don't know if that's because I'm looking at myself in the camera or the light from it, or just as I talk about it, it kind of brings me alive. Like, who knows? But yeah, I woke up and I was like, oh, slightly groggy headed. Oh my god, like, what is this? But also feeling physically rested, which I think is the most critical bit. And I've really struggled with feeling physically rested. And so this is nice. It feels like there's more healing happening. It feels like something deeper was at work and the body was actually doing what it's meant to be doing when it's sleeping. And so that could just be the cortisol sort of dropping, the adrenals finally getting a rest, the immune function of the body getting a bit of an upgrade, a bit of an uplift. It might have been that like the body was more relaxed. And so if the body's more relaxed, then the healing can happen, the repair, the recovery, all that sort of stuff. And just a caveat, I did have like sushi and 80-year-old sort of sourdough made from 80-year-old cultured mother starter like seed, not seed, but like it was a sourdough made with a really old ferment, like starter bacteria, and I've never had one of those before, so potentially that could have also made a difference. I did feel like I needed to eat a bit more carbs last night, just because I've been running on low and I really needed the support of like a bit of extra fuel, a bit of extra energy. And so the sourdough is the other variable that I haven't factored in. Sushi, typically, if I eat it late at night, like rice as a whole, it does help, but it doesn't, like, I've had it before. It's not that that makes that massive a difference. But the sourdough, this is the first time I've ever tried something that was like that aged in terms of its origins. And it could be that the sourdough had some kind of therapeutic benefit effect in addition to the supplements. But I've taken so many different foods and things before. I've never experienced this level of rest in the body. So I do feel like it is that rest in the body that's been triggered by the supplementation. I'm really excited because like once I've had my celery juice, I'll give it about half an hour. and then I'll have some, probably like some watermelon or like a fruit smoothie or something, following medical medium protocols. And with that, I'll then take the day PM pack, the day pack for the Total Human, and that's got the nootropics in. So I'm super excited to see, do I mentally become more alert, more focused, more clear, just taking the nootropics? Because like it's meant to be that potent, right? And I'm like, oh my god, this is so exciting. I mean, that was actually the reason why I opted for this supplement stack for now. If money were no object, I would be getting this in addition to everything else, because I know everything else absolutely works and it benefits me health-wise, and it gives me the energy to be able to keep going and functioning in a way that when I don't take it, I really notice the difference. But like, just the child in me was like, I wonder if I can improve my cognitive brain functions enough to then be able to focus better, and then as a consequence, the benefit of that like translate into my outputs when it comes to work, when it comes to like how long it takes me to get stuff done, and other things that I can then also be doing sort of alongside my work. So that was just like the reason why I decided, let's give it a go. And it has, you know, this is now like, there are some things that I still have these supplements that I've been taking like over the last few months, so I will keep taking those. But this will be like the core variable in terms of like, if I get a cognitive improvement, if I get an enhanced accelerated healing recovery, significant changes, this would have been the one variable that I've changed more so than anything else. So then that'll be like the direct impact of that. But already, like from the sleep, from the PM pack, it felt like it helped the sleep definitely. So now the question is, what difference does the day pack make? And I am super excited to take it just for myself, forget anything else, but just to feel what that difference might be. But B, I'm super excited if it then starts flushing out all of the stuff in the brain and kind of gets it out of your system in terms of the stuff that needs to get cleared out, and then allows you to think more clearly and more alertly and all of that. Oh my god, it's so exciting. So exciting. What would happen if like your mental function got more improved, huh? So that's what I'm looking forward to. So that'll be in the next video. And I'll try not to make it half an hour when I talk about the feedback from the experience, but hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know, comments, feedback, anything that you think would help make it more beneficial in terms of what I'm sharing, the level of detail. Do you want more detail? Do you want less detail? Do you like the style? Do you want me to get a bit more structured? Like, this is off the cuff. I could have like been a bit more scripted and structured in my delivery, but I thought let's just share as it's happening. And do you want to see more of these videos? Like, are these helpful? Are these useful? Are these interesting? Have you learned something about Onnit and their PM pack of supplements? Would you consider trying them out? Do you want to know where to get them from? That kind of stuff. If you're in the UK, I can mention a particular supplier that can provide them. Otherwise, you can get them from the US directly. Yeah, are there any questions that you have? Is there anything that you're struggling with around either improving sleep quality, improving performance recovery, or enhancements on how to get the body to improve how quickly it heals and repairs? Or just if you're struggling with health conditions or any kind of physical or health challenge, do you want to know some of the different solutions that I might suggest or recommend based on, like, literally there have been so many different things I've been trying and testing out and experimenting and using. I keep all the things that benefit and I like move on to the next things for the things where I'm looking for a better solution. And some things just, they don't actually work. But I've given them a try and I'm happy to share my experiences. So let me know if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, if you have anything specific you'd like me to create videos of. And most importantly, are these helpful? Like, are they useful? If so, I'll be doing more of them. Okay, bye for now.